The recording. There it is. Okay. Right, where do I put this? So, hold on. Sorry, it's my first time using this camera. The lighting is giving the Godfather, I know, but bear with me. This is the first video, alright. I think it's filming. Alright, so, it's really, really dark. I don't keep it dark. Better than that garbage. Alright. So, this is the first video on the channel, and it's just random. It's just going to be me doing a collection of different movie reviews. Kind of reviews, might get a little bit into analysis, I don't know. But, yeah, because I'm an aspiring cinephile, and I'm also an aspiring director/actor. So you will see my journey, hopefully, if I get to my end goal properly. This is the diary of a cinephile that you're watching right here, right now, on a small little camcorder. So, today I watched Boyhood 2014 with Ethan Hawke in it. Actually, wait, before I start, I was thinking about this. So, I was listening to Lana Del Rey, Young and Beautiful, and I was thinking, Leonardo DiCaprio would not be able to sing that song, because it wouldn't be fair, because he does not love his partners when they are not young and beautiful, young and beautiful, you know. I was thinking about that's kind of strange to me, that, like, he wouldn't be able to sing that. Like, he wouldn't be able to sing that with a good conscience, asking someone else, will you still love me when I'm no longer young and beautiful, when he doesn't love them when they're not young and beautiful. So, anyways, back to the movie. Boyhood 2014, starring Ethan Hawke and some other people, but I do not know their names yet. That's just the truth. I'm not going to tiptoe around it. So, this movie was very good. I gave it a 3 on Letterboxd, though I often change my Letterboxd reviews after the fact, but right so far I've given it a 3. I cried watching it, which is normal. I cry during lots of movies, but this one hit home because it was like, first of all, the concept of making a film over 12 years is very interesting to me, and the only reason I had even known what this movie really was is because I had seen an interview with Ethan Hawke talking about it and how it worked filming over 12 years. But that's not why I watched the movie. I watched the movie because I saw it on my, just looking through random movies to watch. And I was like, that sounds interesting, but I didn't realize it was that movie that I had heard Ethan Hawke talk about till I had already started watching the film. So, the movie hit very close to home because I'm also a child of divorced parents, and I've also had step-parents and step-parental roles and figures in my life that have been horrible. And it really, like, did sort of, like, open my eyes. There's a small sort of, like, there's a scene towards the end where Ethan is talking to his son, Mason, and he's like, things would have worked out. None of this is going to make sense if you haven't watched the movie, but watch it anyway, even if you haven't watched the movie, and then after this, watch the movie. Even though it's 3 hours, and I didn't know I was getting myself into a 3-hour movie until I was 45 minutes in and checked the watch time, and my jaw dropped, and I said, okay, wait, there's 2 more hours to this film. Anyway, so there's this little scene, and he's pretty much talking about how, like, you'll find other girlfriends, because the Mason had been broken up with, and he was like, you'll find other girlfriends or other people. I'm sorry that there's mowing in the background, I'm sorry, and I'm sorry that they keep going off on tangents. Anyways, he's like, pretty much, what happened between me and your mother and why we didn't work out is because, first of all, we were too young to be popping out babies like that, which is also very similar to my parents' story, but also that we both needed patience. I'm now, this is 12 years later, or actually more than that, because they've been apart for a long time. I'm the man that she wanted then, and maybe if she would have had more patience, I would have come around. But he doesn't blame her for that, and he realizes how much of a stuck-up, I wouldn't even say stuck-up, but a not the best kind of guy, and definitely not the best kind of father. at the beginning. He knows that. But it's still like, if you would have waited, could things have been different? Could these children not had to go through all this heartache? Would she not have had to go through all this heartache? If they would have just been patient with each other and held on for a little longer. And I think about that a lot with my parents, because I feel like it's a very similar thing. Like, my dad has changed because he's been married to someone who is horrible. Anyways, though, my mother has changed, and every single time I'm with my dad and I visit him, sorry, that was my speaker, every single time I visit my father, he's very much like, wow, well, your mother is different than when we got divorced. Like, she's kind of what I wanted. And it just makes me wonder if, because obviously, yes, sometimes some people just, they don't click. Two people just don't click. They just don't work. But sometimes I just wonder if most relationships would really fall apart if people would just be patient and really state what they want in life, but also be willing to wait for that change to happen slowly and be patient with them while it happens. But, I don't know. I'm not married. I've never even had a boyfriend, actually, so, well, what do I know? I guess. Well, actually, I do think I know a little bit, because, first of all, I love films, and second, I'm the child of a divorced couple, so, I think I know a lot, actually. I am only 16, though. And as I said, I've never even had a boyfriend. I do have a cat, though, and I take care of her very well. She's on the bed over here. Maybe I'll give you a room tour someday. I can explain it to you a little bit. I have Pulp Fiction posters, Breakfast at Tiffany's, Superman, Fight Club, Batman, The Dark Knight Rises, Scarface. I have Taxi Driver, Godfather. It's all there. I have these pictures that I made of Tyler, of Tyler and Jack, or Tyler and the narrator. I go with the fan assumption that we can just call the narrator Jack. It's just easier, you know what I mean? And when I'm writing fan fiction, that's what I do. But yeah, that's them from Fight Club. Brad Pitt and Edward Norton. Love them. I watched an Edward Norton film yesterday, Asteroid City. I'll make a review for that maybe. And today, like right when I finish this, I think I'm gonna watch, it's the Woody Allen film, Annie Hall, I think. I was gonna watch Midnight in Paris, with Owen Wilson and Rachel McAdams and Tom Hiddleston, but I was like, I asked this Discord server that I was just in, which they're all like 4-year-old men, and I'm the only girl, and I'm 16 years old. But I was like, I've never watched a Woody Allen film before, what should I start with? And I was going to start with Midnight in Paris, but they were like, start with Annie Hall, because that's what everyone loves. Which I kind of didn't want to watch that one, because I don't know anyone in that, and it's easier for me to watch movies when I'm familiar with the actors in it, but I'm going to watch Annie Hall. It's only an hour and 30 minutes, and then I'm probably going to watch Midnight in Paris, and that'll be my third movie today, because as I said, and what this whole video is supposed to be about is that I've watched Boyhood, 2014. Sorry, I forgot the name of the film. Boyhood was very good. I liked it. I cried. I started crying at the graduation scene because it really hit me, like, wow, like, I have, like, everything that Mason Jr. was going through, I had went through, especially because it's me and my younger brother, and so I also felt, like, sympathetic to Sam's character, and I just think it's so freaking cool to see Mason grow up, like, actually, like, the actors growing up, and that's probably one of my only little flacks about the movie, is that you can't tell if people are going to be good actors by how they are when they're little, unless you're like Leonardo DiCaprio or something. But Sam sometimes was not, like, her line delivery was not it. But it's like, what do you expect? Like, I've never seen that girl in anything else in my whole life. I don't know if she acts outside of this movie, but it's like, you already chose her to be a part of it when she was little, so you kind of just have to roll with her not being a good actress, you know? I don't know. Anyways, that's my review of the movie. Oh my gosh, let me turn blue. Dabba-dee-dabba-da. Anyways. So yeah, my letterbox is Filmette. I might have it linked in the description, but I don't know if it will work. And then I comment other movies I should watch. And if you want a room tour. This is my first video on this channel, by the way, so, you know. It really is giving the Godfather, like I should be stroking a cat in my lap. You know what I mean? Like, the lighting. I'm making my so not me stuttering while trying to quote the Godfather. I'm making my mom, oh my gosh, I can't even speak. Never mind, so it's not happening anymore. It's not the Godfather. I ruined it. Anyways. Bye. Thank God for the rain. Bye. Thank God for the rain. Thank God for the rain.